Question 5 says a number of students increased by 10 is 28. So what's the part and what's the whole?
The whole is 28.
How did you know?
Because of the base.
Okay.
So I split it and part of it was 10 and then the other part was like a variable, whatever it was.
Okay.
And then my equation was 10 plus x.
Tell me how you know it was plus. What keyword led you to believe it was plus? Miss Blair. Good. And so a number, the variable, increased by 10 is 28. Wait a minute. Ours says 10 plus x. Can you rearrange the order? Yeah, addition's commutative. You can rearrange the order. That's okay. How am I going to get x all by itself if I have 10 on this side? How am I going to get rid of 10? Now, Elliot, he's answered this question already. Tell me, Miss Marie. Okay, first, because to get rid of 10, I take it away on this side. If I do it on this side, I have to do it on the other side. You're going to draw a big line. You all drawing a big line and crossing it off? Because if you aren't, fix it, because it has to look like mine. 10 take away 10 is 0. 0 plus x is the additive identity property. So x is by itself. I have 18. Where x is where x is the number of students. So if you picked S or any other letter, you should define your variable. Jesselyn? Because I want x by itself. And so if I have 10, I want x by itself. How am I going to get rid of that 10? You have to subtract it because we want x all by itself. And so the only way to do that is to take care of that number. Or you could say I'm trying to get all the numbers on one side of the equation, right? Because this is a number and this is a variable. That's also called combining like terms. You're trying to get all of the same kind of thing on one side of the equal sign. Emily? Now, does that match what it says? I'm so glad you asked that. If you wrote 28 minus 10, does that equal x? 28 minus 10 equals x. I still get 18 is equal to x, right? That's an equivalent equation, isn't it? However, does it match the words? A number of students increased by 10 is 28. It doesn't, and here's why. Is where the equal sign is, so it has to equal 28. Just because it says is does not mean that's whatever is after that is the whole. It means that when I'm setting up the equation, that's where the equal sign goes. And I'm so glad you asked because the next one is one step trickier, and I think that it'll help you explain why. Okay? So increase means I'm adding. A number decreased by 15 is 22. Wait a minute. What operation are we using in this one? This has to be a subtraction one. You and your partner again. What's the part and what's the whole? Make the equation. Is means equal. Does not mean it's equal to the whole. Okay? Go. Remember to draw your picture. What's the part? What's the whole? Thumbs up when you think you have an answer. Steph, you guys got it? Steph, you got it? Maybe. Okay. This one's a little trickier.
I think I got it.
I'm going to start with the words. A number decreased by 15 is 22. What does is mean? Is means equals. What does decrease mean? Subtract. Oh, and remember, subtraction is not commutative, so order totally matters. What has to go first? A number decreased by 15 is 22. A number decreased by 15 is 22. Good. I'll pick an X. Decreased by 15 is 22. That is the equation that matches. Oh. Curses, swearing. Oh, darn it. And all that good stuff. And so, decrease to subtraction. A number decreased by 15 is 22. Do you see how I got that equation? Is means equals. Decrease means subtraction. And so it has to be a subtraction sentence based on the words. Could I make an equivalent addition equation? Yes, I could. But based on the words, it's subtraction. Jesselyn, your question. Can it be 15 minus x? No. No, and I'm going to show you why on the picture. Okay? Because subtraction is not commutative. Let's look. Which one is the part and which one is the whole? If I have a number decreased by 15, it's 22. What goes where? What's 15? Is that a part or a whole?
Part.
That's a part. What about 22? Is the whole thing 22? No. If I have something and I take away 15, I'm still left with this part. What don't we know? We don't know the whole. Okay? Where n is a number. So this one's tricky because you don't know the whole. But if I had that and I took away 15, I better get this left over, right? And this n had better be bigger than just 15, and it better be bigger than 22, or I didn't do it right based on the picture. How do I go about solving to figure out what n is? How am I going to do that if I have n take away 15 equals 22? Nate, what are you going to do? How do I get n by itself? Well, if I'm subtracting 15, what's the opposite or inverse operation of subtracting 15? Adding. Remember, they're on a line back there. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations, just like multiplication and division are inverse operations. So you have to know that those two are on a row on my order of operations things for a couple reasons. One of the reasons they're on that same row is because they're opposite operations. Because if I'm in the whole 15, remember I could change that to add the opposite, I would have to add, or because that's the opposite operation, I have to add. If I take away 15, then I get 15. What's my answer? 0. Because if I'm in the whole $15 and then I get $15, I don't have any money.
Okay.
Yeah? If I add 15 here, what do I do over here? Add 15. Draw a big line. That becomes 0. Additive identity says n is 37.
Yay.
If I have that number decreased by 15, do I have 22?
Yes.
Yes. That's how we know. I want your best attempt on 7, 8, 9. And we'll start there. So we're super close to where I wanted to get today. I want your best attempt on those 3. The homework is, I want your best attempt